When someone tells me I'll try YouTube for 6 months and see what happens, I know they're setting themselves up for disappointment because YouTube's hard. That timeline practically guarantees failure. The first 6 months on YouTube feel like shouting into the void. I should know, I actually quit YouTube for over a year because I had the same poor expectations. I call this period the Valley of Death. It's where creators' dreams go to die. It's like expecting to plant a tree and have shade in 6 months. Trees don't work that way, neither does YouTube. The reality is harsh. Those first 6 months are painfully slow. Your videos get barely any views. Comments are rare. Subscribers trickle in one at a time, if at all. Progress is so slow, it's hard to even see if it's happening. But here's what I learned after coming back. That frustration you feel isn't your fault. It's completely predictable, and you're not alone. It's exactly what every successful creator went through. Now that I've navigated through that valley of death myself, I've helped dozens of other creators do the same. And the first thing that I tell them is the harsh truth about timelines. In this video, I'm going to show you why the most common YouTube timeline is designed to fail, what the real timeline for success looks like, and how to mentally prepare for the long game so you can have the success that you want. But just real quick, I need to pay my bills, so let me tell you about the sponsor of today's video. You know that Valley of Death period I just mentioned? One thing that makes it even harder is trying to create content for multiple platforms. I used to spend hours manually cutting my long-form videos into clips for YouTube Shorts on top of everything else. That's where Nexus Clips comes in. It's an AI tool that automatically finds the best moments for your long-form videos and turns them into viral-ready short clips in minutes instead of hours. I'm talking about saving 5 to 10 hours per week, time that you can spend actually improving your content instead of being stuck in editing jail. Since I've started using Nexus Clips, I've been able to consistently post shorts without the massive time investment. It's become as essential to my workflow as my camera or my microphone, something I literally can't imagine creating content without. Try Nexus Clips with my discount code in the description, and trust me, if you're serious about surviving that valley of death, you need tools that help you stay consistent without burning out. Now that you understand why 6 months isn't enough time, let me show you what you're actually trying to master during that valley of death period. Most people think YouTube is simple. Film a video, upload it, wait for views, right? Not exactly. YouTube success requires a complex set of skills that all work together, just like the different parts of a tree. Think about it this way. Your foundational skills, scripting, editing, filming, those are your roots. Without strong roots, nothing else works. Your content consistency and posting schedule, that's your trunk. It gives you stability and strength. And your ability to connect with your audience and build community, those are your branches, reaching out and growing. And monetization, sponsorships, and all the ways you make money, those are the leaves. But you can't grow leaves without strong roots, a solid trunk, and healthy branches. Here's what you're actually learning in those first months. How to write scripts that keep people watching, how to film videos that look and sound professional, how to edit in a way that maintains energy and pacing, how to create thumbnails that get clicks, how to optimize titles for browse, how to read analytics and understand what they mean, how to engage with your community, how to understand the algorithm's signals. Basically, how the platform decides who sees your content. Each one of these skills is its own learning curve. Each one takes months to get decent at, years to master. And here's the kicker. They all have to work together. You can't just be good at one and ignore the others. And you might be wondering which of these skills is holding you back the most. I've created a free quiz that analyzes your specific situation and identifies the biggest bottleneck, and then gives you a personalized action plan to fix it, and it only takes 2 minutes. Link in the description. So when someone expects results in 6 months, they're essentially expecting to master all of these interconnected skills in half a year. That's like expecting to become fluent in a new language in 6 months, while also learning how to play piano and get a black belt in martial arts. Good luck. Think about a skill that you've mastered in your own life. How long did that take you? These skills sound overwhelming, but before you get discouraged, let's look at what the actual numbers tell us about YouTube success. Here's a statistic that might shock you. Most creators quit before they even reach video 20. Most of them quit during the ugly sapling phase. You know that feeling when you think, I've done all this hard work and this is all I have to show for it? That's exactly what this phase feels like. That's exactly what happens with YouTube channels in those early videos. Your channel looks like nothing special. Your view counts are low, your subscriber count barely moves. From the outside, it looks like you're failing, an ugly sapling. But just like that ugly sapling, there's actually a lot happening beneath the surface that you can't see. The problem is we're consistently fed stories about viral success. This creator got 1 million subscribers in 6 months. This video exploded overnight. But what they don't tell you is that for every lottery winner, there are thousands of creators who built their success slowly, steadily over the years. All you have to do is look into the comments of any of my videos. Sound off down below if you're stuck in the grind right now. The strongest trees grow slowly. They develop deep root systems. They weather storms that would topple faster growing plants. The most successful YouTube channels follow the same pattern. They're built to last, not to impress people in month 1. Be realistic. I would love for my videos to match my vision. There is so much more that I want to do better, but I don't have the skills or the bandwidth to do that yet. All I can do is get incrementally better with each upload. Then it's just a matter of time. So when you're in that valley of death, when your channel looks like an ugly sapling, the numbers that matter aren't the ones that everyone can see. The numbers that matter are the skills you're developing, the consistency you're building, the foundation that you're laying for long-term success. The only comparison worth making is you versus yourself from yesterday. All right, we've covered why 6 months fails and the skills that you need. Let's talk about the timeline that actually works. Just like you wouldn't expect a tree to provide shade in its first year, YouTube success requires patience for the natural growth process. I get comments all the time about how because I don't have more subscribers, you shouldn't listen to my advice. But there are some things you just can't rush. Trees don't grow on your timeline, they grow on nature's timeline. YouTube works the same way. A more realistic mindset would be, I'm committing to this for at least 3 years. Here's what that actually looks like. Year 1 is all about learning the basics and finding your voice. You're going to be making a lot of mistakes. Your content won't be where you want it to be. You'll feel like you're not improving fast enough. But this is where you're doing the invisible foundation work, developing those root skills we talked about earlier. And I'm still here myself. Year 2 is when you start refining everything. You understand your audience better. You've built consistency habits. You're getting more comfortable on camera. You're starting to understand what content works and what doesn't. You're strengthening your core. Year 3 and beyond is when the compound effects really start to kick in. Your expertise starts to show. People begin to trust you. Your content quality has noticeably improved. The algorithm starts to understand what you're about. This is when growth becomes visible and starts to accelerate. Here's the key difference. Instead of treating YouTube like a 6-month trial run, you need to treat it like a long-term investment. You're not asking, will this work in 6 months? You're asking, how can I get 1% better with each video for the next 3 years and beyond? That shift in thinking changes everything. We've covered the real timeline and how to shift your mindset. Now let's talk about measuring progress so that you don't lose hope during the journey. Just like measuring a tree's success by its root depth or its trunk strength rather than just its height, you need to look at different metrics when you're building your YouTube channel. Instead of obsessing over subscriber count or view numbers, start celebrating small wins that actually matter. Your first genuine comment from someone who says your video helped them. The first time that you notice your on-camera confidence improving. When you finish editing a video and think, that was actually pretty good. When you upload consistently for a month straight without missing a deadline. These aren't vanity metrics, these are foundation metrics. They're signs that you're building something sustainable. Track your progress improvements, not your outcomes. Are you getting faster at editing? Are your thumbnails getting better? Are you more comfortable speaking to the camera? Are you understanding your analytics better? If you're not sure which areas need the most work, don't forget about the quiz that I linked below. These skills compound over time. They're what separate creators who last from creators who burn out. Start building systems instead of chasing numbers. Create templates for your thumbnails. Develop a consistent posting schedule. Build a content calendar. Set up your filming space so it's ready to go. These might seem boring, but systems are what allow you to stay consistent when motivation runs low. And here's the most important reframe. Start measuring community, not just audience size. One engaged subscriber who regularly comments and shares your videos is worth more than 10 passive subscribers who never interact. I want to shout out Will DeFox. I don't think he's missed a comment on a single video. If you see him down below, toss him a thumbs up. And speaking of thumbs up, if you could do me a favor and press the like button on this video, it helps a lot more than you know. Focus on building genuine connections with people who do find your content valuable. When you measure success this way, you'll start seeing progress much sooner than if you're just waiting for big numbers to appear. When you can see progress differently, here's why the long game becomes your biggest advantage over creators who are just chasing quick wins. There's an old saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. That's exactly how YouTube works. The creators who started years ago and stuck with it have massive advantages now, but you can't go back in time. So the best thing you can do is start building for where you want to be in 3 years. Here's something that I knew, but I didn't know, if you know what I mean. Compound growth is slow for years, then explosive. It's easy to forget that when you're in the middle of those slow years. A tree grows gradually, almost imperceptibly, building its root system and strengthening its trunk. Then suddenly, seemingly overnight, it starts branching out rapidly. Your YouTube channel works the same way. While other creators are burning out after 6 months because they didn't see massive results, you'll still be here, getting 1% better with each video. While they're starting over with their new channels or giving up entirely, you'll have years of experience, a solid foundation of skills, and the mental toughness that only comes from pushing through the valley of death. The algorithm rewards consistency over time. It rewards creators who show up regularly, who build engaged communities, who improve gradually. But it takes time for the algorithm to understand what you're about and who your audience is. Creators who think long-term have patience for this learning curve. Creators who think short-term get frustrated and quit before the algorithm ever figures them out. Here's your advantage. While everyone else is looking for shortcuts and hacks and ways to game the system, you're building something sustainable. You're developing real skills. You're creating genuine value. You're building authentic relationships with your audience. And when that compound effect finally kicks in, and it will, you will have something that lasts, something that can't be taken away by algorithm changes or platform updates. You'll have become genuinely good at what you do. That's the long game advantage. That's why thinking in years instead of months isn't just more realistic, it's actually your secret weapon. Now that you have the right timeline expectations, you're probably wondering exactly what strategy, tactics, and mindset that you need to actually win on YouTube. What specific steps should you take in year one? What should you focus on first? I've already made the complete video that breaks down everything. It's the wrong hand motion. I already made a complete video that breaks everything down. The exact strategy, tactics, and mindset. So all you have to do is watch that video and you'll know exactly how to win on YouTube. You can click or tap right here to watch it next.